What's up, everybody? I know my channel isn't really building computers and stuff, but we got something special. I haven't uploaded a video in like a week or two, whatever it's been by this point, because I've been resetting up my entire studio space. What we're doing today, though, we're going to be building the new computer, the new rig, with all this stuff. So we got two RTX Titans. We got the 32 core Threadripper, was it 3970X, I believe. We're installing 128 gigs of RAM today. They're back ordered on the other 128 gigs that I ordered. So eventually this thing will have 256 gigs of 3600 megahertz RAM. We have the Creator TRX40 motherboard. That thing was like $800 or $900. A 1600 watt Hercules power supply. It's a monster. And then we got a sweet case. I forget the model number, but it's the same case that Linus Tech Tips uses on his workstations that he just built with the 24 core Threadripper, mind you. So we one-upped Linus there. And I'll give you a kind of rundown of the studio space later, but all this stuff on this desk, all the preamps, the monitor, the two new speakers, everything top to bottom pretty much is either new. There's a few items in there like a patch bay I already had and a few things, but new audio interface, everything. So it's a completely new setup. Anyway, so let's get to building.
I'm getting ready to mount the power supply to the mounting bracket for the case. 4 simple screws on the backing plate. And then run some wires for said power supply. We have this fancy kit that has black mounting screws so we can keep everything color coordinated. Roseville, in my opinion, has always been a good company. Like any company, of course, they have mediocre and low-end parts, but they got quality stuff too. In a perfect world, but that's asking an awful lot, it seems, nowadays. Oh, you want the accessory kit to match? That's going to cost you extra. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to figure out exactly how many SATA cords and everything you're going to need, because I'm not going to have access to the rest of what I need to plug in.
Well, you can open up the back, access everything from the back.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you can. I already pulled it open. So if you flip it, that's what the cool thing about this case. Turn it around. What we're going to do is we can take off both of those panels to make it easy to build.
Okay, yeah, no, that'll be good. That'll be good.
So we can just actually slide this off. I'm going to do the same for the glass.
So we got a nice Creator TRX40 motherboard with our, to verify, Threadripper 3970X 32 core processor, and we have 128 gigabytes of G-Skill Trident Z Neo DDR4. So you've got a emblem, which can or cannot be added to your motherboard or to your case to identify that's the MSI gaming emblem.
Machine.
And I'm not sure, but this may be a flash card for the BIOS. I have to look into that, but that looks like a little mini thumb drive, USB. Verify mounting holes.
Good call before you stone
This
stuff.
one does not need to be used, but it can still stay there for support. It will not hurt anything. It's right there. Perfect. Okay. That looks good. 1, 2, 3 over here. That one is not needed either, but it shouldn't be in the way. And then 1, 2, 3. So all of our pins are preset in just the right locations. None of these need to be moved or modified. And all mounting ports for the actual motherboard will be used. So we will have a secure mount. We got one here.
Oh, okay.
One here.
Cool.
One here at the corners. One here. The case has one. Oh, there is a mounting hole here. It looks like. Yep, there's still a mounting hole there too. So we got to take off this little cover here to get to the mounting hole under here.
That's where the drives go too. So.
And then we've got 2 mounting holes here. There's a 3rd mounting spot here, but this one on the back, as we can see, has a little white dot on it. So our mount bracket here, support stud, will line up for this little white dot, which will not cause contact with any electronic components, causing anything to short out. A very high-tech case to hold this very nice processor in. I have not seen a CPU case quite this spectacular.
Well, when you paid nearly $2,000 for it, I would hope they at least spend a few more dollars on a case.
All right. Interesting. Okay.
I might go too fast.
Slot it in.
I don't care about those limits.
Press it down.
'Cause I want this to last like nothing ever lasts before. I might go too fast. But suddenly I feel so rich. So I don't know nothing. Oh, I can't let
Another
this
bracket.
slip. No, I gotta seize the moment. Have you even noticed? Are you thinking about me? Are you thinking about me? I'm having a hard time not doing anything other than thinking about you. So are you thinking about me? 'Cause I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. Don't wanna go too fast. 'Cause I know that
Yeah, right there.
That's the one we need, but before we...
This way? Yeah, looks like it will. Oh. Obviously, we can mount that in many different configurations.
I just needed to make sure before we got too far that
Yeah, for sure.
it's going to be some good
Make
stuff.
sure you put it in the right spots. Because this is a 4-channel board. Not just dual, it's quad channels.
Yeah, it should all be on one side. However,
I think
we'll
it's
refer to the owner's manual to verify.
Yeah, I think it's alternating on this one, if I remember Linus's video. Yeah.
A2, B2, D2, C2.
You know what would have been cool is if this motherboard supported like 512 gigabytes or more. The CPU supports, I think, up to, if I remember right, it's either 1 or 2 terabytes. I think it's 2. But no motherboard supports that for that chipset yet. Not to mention you can't get enough high enough memory modules for it. So sexy.
Alright, M2 cord, SATA cables, fan accessories. Alright. Nice little extra add-on kit. You really threw out all the bells and whistles here. Wireless antenna setup.
Definitely ain't gonna use that.
No?
No, I've already ran Ethernet cable over.
Better connection anyway.
I have a switch over there.
This is a nice antenna, I must say.
Yeah.
Little
Yes.
V stand. Yeah.
And if you look over there next to the cactuses on the top, there's a network attached storage. Yes, look at that puppy.
I'd recommend using the 500 gig for your primary operating system, one of the smaller ones, so you can use the larger ones for storage.
I want to go 1 terabyte on the operating, just because I just don't want to worry about it for 10 years. And who knows how big Adobe could get? Who knows how big any of the software through the years could get. So I know 512 should be plenty, especially currently. But
That always changes.
why not? I mean, how hard is it just to swap some 5 to, you know what I mean? And now these things are cheap.
Relatively.
Yeah, relatively speaking. Compared to like everything else, they're not really that much more expensive than an SSD, really. I mean, they are, but they're not 5 times the cost, you know. That's interesting, creator board.
So I wouldn't worry about that screw so much because it's going to be held down in place just fine until you take
Yeah.
this guy off.
Makes sense. So FYI, for those watching, if you're using this, what is this, creator, let me show you an example real quick before we screw it down. If you're using this creator TRX40, there's an interesting thing about it, because normally, I know on a lot of, on these, there's different mounting holes. So interestingly enough, zoom in, begin, close, get in focus. There's mounting screws there for different size M.2 drives, which he's tapping right now. But on this, the pad is so thick that it doesn't actually, the screw isn't long enough to go down. So you have to actually use just the provided plate, which is cool. It's just different. So, FYI. I was trying to do it, quote unquote, big air quotes, right, realizing the way I was doing it right wasn't right for this particular motherboard.
If you have to force something, it doesn't go there or it's not aligned right. So we have our processor in, we have our RAM in, we have 3 M2 drives in. At this point, really ready to throw the motherboard in and start wiring everything together and figuring out exactly what extra peripherals and cable inside the thing. So I had this guy slid all the way down, which causes a hang up right here in this cable, causing it to block the hole. So I had to realign it.
Makes sense.
Look to the left, look to the right. Nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm wrong. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions I'll go, running to better times, to better times, to better times.
Hey Intel, if you ever watch this, if you feel like it, you can send me an Optane drive. Make a video.
Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took. looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go.
So, as you can see on here, we have places for the M.2 drives, and then these little screws here, the bases, just have to be moved down one spot for the proper mount. I'm trying to take it ludicrous, you don't do something. I thought the screw was sitting on top of that. Open your eyes, Sean. I was like, I gotta take the screw off. I'm like digging in, trying to take a screw off that isn't even there.
Well, won't it work? Don't you want to come out of your home?
Right? What I was doing was really fucking me up. Just being stupid.
So this is our power cord. And typically this is not situated like this. Typically, instead of these being situated the way they are, they'd be rotated 90 degrees on these two. And this guy here would usually be round, not flat like that. So this is a specialty power cable that only works really with this power supply that we have. And if we need another power cable, we're gonna have to order a special one or find a special one, because we can't use just any power cable. But that is a nice thick gauge power cable. I'm trying to see where it's supposed to slide and lock in.
There it is.
Right in the front. Oh, that's not a good spot. Oh, no, it goes over here. It goes over here.
You can put, according to the instructions, this can take 4 of those, but obviously not with that power supply.
It goes here. So it does go on right there. We can make that work. That'll work. So here's one of those nifty panels. Ventilation with a screen. Helps catch dust bunnies. Keep inside the case cleaner.
There we go. We have post. So we got it working finally. So I spent like $100 or whatever it was for the Windows official USB thing that doesn't work. Thanks Windows. Thanks Microsoft. Good job.
Yeah, failed files. Your little USB stick was corrupted. Thankfully, I knew exactly what the issue was from the beginning. Pretty much, first thing I said was, hey, it's probably the thumb drive that is bad.
But he's 100% correct. In closing, this thing's freaking sweet. I'm gonna clean up now, more stuff to clean up. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I know this isn't the normal type of content, so it's a little different. We got ourselves a thread ripping monster, and I'm excited to start actually using it. Make sure you hit subscribe, comment below, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And thank you again to Ron for coming by and helping out and getting this thing built that much faster. I'm sure I could have figured it out and got it done myself. I've built computers before. I just kind of wanted to speed up the process and make it easier on myself and hang out with a buddy. So, talk to you guys later. Thanks.